puppet behind you?
I think it's a good
headliner.
No, I'm going to photobomb me with Whitney Houston.
Yes, thank you.
Where's your cocaine bag?
It gets the job done.
It's so, yeah. So
And it starts with an N? It's not a go. You,
probably not an N.
You network? You,
Network.
there we go.
Thank you.
We
It
did
was an N. It was an N.
Our powers combined there.
Yes. Thank you.
My name is Dustin Nickerson. I've been doing comedy 4.5 years.
4.5 years.
4.5 years.
You're like a babe.
Yeah, it'll be my first. I did my first open mic 5 years ago this summer.
Wow. And where did that start?
I'm still there. I went up at Madhouse Comedy Club in downtown San Diego, which was my first everything club, my first open mic, my first book spot, my first weekend, my first headline spot, all that kind of stuff. So it has all my firsts. I grew up in love with stand-up. Like, it was my favorite thing in the world. I grew up, I was born in '84, but so I grew up watching TV in the '90s, and that was like the era of the half-hour special on Comedy Central. So I just remember watching all of those specials, memorizing them, knowing them so well, but never did anything about it. Loved the art form of stand-up. Always was the guy that was like thinking about it. Maybe I should try it one time, and did my first open mic, and just didn't stop. Like, people talk about that, like, in comedy, like, oh, it seems so hard. And it is, but if you want to do it, you'll do it. Like, if you, like, say, catch the bug, like, if you catch the bug, you're like, oh, this is great. I really, really enjoy this despite all the hardships and all the, the ugliness of it. I just want to keep doing it because you would really have to want to do it because, yeah, sometimes it's terrible. It's so bad sometimes.
Some pretty shit shows.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I had someone say to me recently, what was the smallest crowd you've ever performed for? And I said, zero. There were 0 people. So I love the randomness of it. Like, I have done 3 to 5 different shows in the side room of 3 to 5 different Italian restaurants. Why? Why does that happen? I've done backyard. I did a corporate gig. It makes it sound, no, it was a guy's backyard party for his company where it was me and his pool, and then his disinterested employees, and me just trying to bark jokes about my kids to him. And so, yeah, you really got to like it. He didn't. That gig paid $200, which seemed like a lot of money. Yeah. And he put it in my hand and literally didn't make eye contact with me. I had to bring my own sound system.
Oh, that sucks.
So I just had to lug out, just licking my wounds in this $1 million home with the $200 in my pocket. So, yeah, you gotta like it. That was really the appeal of comedy to me, and still is. Like, when I thought I wanted to be a sports writer, and then I was blogging, speaking, and preaching, and I was doing all these different things. And reality was I was doing a lot of them just because I wanted to talk about things. Like, I have these thoughts, and I want to share them. And comedy was the only one of those where you can talk about anything you want, provided it's funny. But, if you're preaching a sermon, that doesn't really, like, okay, now I want to rant about this thing right here. And they're like, no, you're just supposed to be teaching us what this Bible verse means. Like, well, I still have a day job, and I've done a lot of different things. I started off in life wanting to be a sports writer, so I was a journalist. I was a minister for many years, 7, 8 years, working at a church, doing a lot of different things there. Still do that on a volunteer level, and still spend the majority of my time is middle management at a rec center, like a YMCA type thing. Yeah. But through the Salvation Army, so that's what I do during the day, and then I do this at night and on weekends, and here in Wichita this weekend. Not too weird, but it's Christianity. It's a little weird.
Yeah, fair enough.
I make that joke a lot where I say I saw this billboard in our city where churches try to be cool. That's my favorite thing in the world, and it said, casual people, authentic faith, no weird stuff. And I was like, this is dumb. Just embrace that it's weird, man. Your book starts with a talking snake, Right. And that's not the last talking animal in the book. It's a weird book, and it's okay. But it's never the same. For me, my writing process is different almost every time. Like, I'll have an idea or something will happen, and I'll jot it down. And then sometimes I'll work it out on stage. Sometimes the whole bit comes at the same time. But I personally, bits linger for a long time. Like I do that Corolla bit about being average. And that was one of the first bits I ever wrote, like 4 years ago. But I had a new tag in it, that I wrote in the last month. DustinNickerson.com, yep. Twitter at Dustin Nickerson, Instagram at Dustin Nickerson. I don't know if I'm the only one out there, but I was the first one to go get all of it.
Good. Facebook, I'm assuming.
All of it, yeah.
Awesome.
It's all on there, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. That was great.